Today, sentiment was more risk on with all the different indices, so the DAX and the S&P, Nasdaq and Dow Jones pushing higher, so a bit of recovery from the sell-off that we seen last week. And you see the safe haven, so gold and T-notes are pushing lower. We've also seen a bit of dollar strength with the euro here, as you can see on my charts. This morning breaking below the pivots and now trending lower since the morning all the way down to S1 and now kind of consolidating around this area. Very similar pattern here on the pound. So broke below the pivot at around 8:30, 9 o'clock, and then just testing the S1 level and consolidating around this area since then. If we have a look at the S&P, so S&P still making new high for the session as I'm speaking. Overnight in Asia, breaking the R1 level, then consolidated and then waiting for the European market to come in. I moved from R1 all the way up to R2 and then consolidating in the morning until the US market opens at 2:30 to break R2 to the upside, and now still trending and making new highs for the session. Really similar pattern can be seen in the DAX. The DAX this morning gapped higher. So all of that based on the fact that we haven't had any new news related to the situation between Trump and North Korea. So new news is good news. So then you see a bit of a relief in the sell-off in the equities. So equities up and they safe haven down. DAX exactly the same, R1 at the European Open, all the way to R2. And now the DAX still pushing higher following the US indices in the afternoon. And then, as I said, T-notes, so risk on scenario, T-notes pushing lower, breaking below the S1 level this morning, turning a bit lower, and now a bit of profit taking and a bit of recovery. And if you have a look at oil, let me just make this chart a bit bigger here. So oil not moving too much on the Asian session overnight, and then a bit of upside when we broke above the pivot at the oil pickup in volume every day at 2 o'clock, all the way to, so breaking the 49 psychological handle, all the way to the R1 for the day, and now recovered all the way down. So no fundamental reason for this move to the downside. I'd say quiet market, so people playing the range in the oil. So yeah, some decent moves in the market, even though it's a Monday. Usually pretty quiet, but some good opportunities. Let me just share with you one of the trades that I took this morning. So I took this trade here in gold. So this is 5 minutes candlestick, a bit of momentum to the downside from pivot to S1, and then I just enter kind of aggressive entry at the S1 level with a really tight stop loss above these candles here, and then book profit just below this 1286.7, which was the low of Friday. So book some profit here, and then kind of bit of retracement as soon as we reach this level. So I took second contract off because obviously this is Monday, and then I know that based on the calendar that we have for the rest of the week, there are going to be some bigger events to come. So being a bit realistic with my targets and my expectations, and just book some profit here a bit early for the second contract, but because I'm aware that there's going to be more events to come for the rest of the week, I'm just happy with this one. If we have a look at the calendar for tomorrow, so tomorrow you have some pretty interesting data. You have the inflation reading for the UK, so core CPI for the UK tomorrow. This is the main indicator that is used by the BOE for deciding on their monetary policy. So obviously this one tier 1 data, 9:30 tomorrow for the pound, and for the FTSE trader, this is gonna offer us some good opportunities. And then in the afternoon, you have the US retail sales, so as well good indicator of how good or how bad the US economy is doing these days. So this one likelihood of moving the market is also pretty high. And then as per usual, because tomorrow is Tuesday, you have the API weekly crude oil inventories coming out at 9:30 London time. So yeah, that's it for the day. I hope you all had a good day. Enjoy your evening, and I'll speak to you tomorrow.